Alright, and for this setup, my action bar is set up as Anticipation, Resonance, then Revenge, then Bash, then Punish, Slice, Dismember, Fury, Assault, Slaughter, Overpower, and Rejuvenate. Which, for the ultimate abilities, if you have high health and you don't have to worry about healing, then use Overpower because it does serious damage. But if you need to heal, use Rejuvenate. To show you how I use my setup, I'm going to just kill a greater demon. And remember to chain your abilities together to where they complement each other, to where you're doing the most damage. Like some things you hit harder when they're stunned, so make sure you try to stun before you hit them. And stuff like Revenge, I usually use before I use my ultimate ability because it does extra damage. And I went from hitting 2800 to 3300 just by having a couple Revenge stacked on me. And here just shows me using Rejuvenate, which just heals me for a certain percentage of what my health is at the time. And I don't have Rejuvenate on this bar, but I do have Regenerate, which if you're not in combat after a fight and you still have adrenaline left over, you just click it and it'll heal you. But it's not really useful during a fight because you can't use it. If you have a shield in your inventory and you get your ultimate ability up, like I'm about to show you, then I shift 3 to change my action bars, and then I click the Rejuvenate ability and it heals me. But remember not to take off your shield before you finish healing or it'll stop the effect. And also when you change bars, it resets your cooldowns, so you don't have to worry about not being able to use it. Alright, now I'm going to get enough adrenaline to use Pulverize, which is a two-handed ultimate ability. And I'm going to use it on the other demon since this one has low health. So I can show you the damage it can do. Hold on, let me finish him. Alright, so what it does is it pretty much just drags on the ground to give force, and then it slaps the demon across the face. And range changed a good bit now because now you can have a main hand crossbow, an offhand crossbow, or a two-hand crossbow. Each are good in their own ways, plus you can have a bow. My range setup starts with Freedom, then Binding Shot, then Piercing Shot, then Snipe, then Fragmentation Shot, then Ricochet, then Bombardment, then Double Shot, then Dead Shot, followed by Incendiary Shot, Rejuvenate again, and Escape. Escape's only on there for fun, and Freedom's on there because I use range for ceiling creation, and it helps me build up adrenaline when I just use it, so it's just there for fun. Sometimes I put on Resonance and it heals me, but that's only when I'm fighting stronger monsters, but greater demons really don't do the damage that steel dragons do, so I just choose to use Freedom instead just for the hell of it. But really I just haven't changed my bar, so I should do that, but I'm not going to. Some abilities you can use only when you're using a certain type of thing, like a two-hand weapon or dual wield and stuff like that, but basically you have the basic same concepts of abilities no matter what weapon you have, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference ability wise. At the beginning of this clip you see me using Bombardment, which rains down fire arrows on top of the greater demon, which does some serious damage, and then I use Snipe right there, which took a little time to take, but you have to remember if you're going to use a skill that takes a long time to do, an ability that takes a long time to do, you have to wait it out, because if you press anything else before then it'll cancel out the time that you waited already. And then here I'm using Dead Shot, which strikes the target multiple times, doing a serious amount of damage to them. Along with this update came dual wielding, which you can use two crossbows if you want to look like a badass, but remember that you need to buy a main hand crossbow and then an offhand crossbow in order for it to work. You can't just buy two main hand crossbows because it won't fill in that slot. But I can't use the ultimate ability for this because I'm not 81 range, but it's called unload, and you shoot both of them at the same time, and they both do a lot of damage, and it's really sick. But here you just see how fast that I shoot the bolts off, and the damage is not strong damage, but it's a lot of damage quickly, so it adds up over time. At the beginning of this clip, you see me pressing the T button and then the target, and in the upper right hand corner it'll show its weakness, which is bolts for a greater demon. But I'm gonna show arrows just for the sake of this video. I'm gonna use arrows, and pretty much arrows are slower, but they do more damage. But since greater demons are weaknesses to bolts, I don't really do as much damage as I could do if I was using a crossbow. But on foes that you fight that are weak to arrows, bows are a good way to go because they do some serious damage. And there you can see I switched to my shield to heal, and make sure you keep it on until the healing effect is over. Well, I hope this helped, and remember, rate and subscribe.